Hello again, this is that model collector here with another Star Trek Starship review, and today I will be reviewing an extremely rare starship that I was very lucky to find for a really good price. This is the Battle Damage Enterprise from Star Trek III, The Search for Spock, even though the box says Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, which is not true. Anyway, this is a Constitution class refit starship. This was seen in the motion pictures, in the movies, with the original series cast, and this one particularly was in The Search for Spock, where it was spoiler alert, blown up, and well, ordered more specifically, was set to self-destruct by Captain Kirk and the rest of the crew in order to kill some of the Klingons that were on board the ship. Anyway, I have to say, this is a very detailed ship, particularly the battle damage. Now, I have to say, I've seen some of the battle damage ships that Diamond Select and Art Asylum have released, and some of them are pretty good. Others are not as great, and I'm talking about the Enterprise E battle damage, and I'll be honest, I don't like the Enterprise B battle damage ship, which is why I don't own that one. But anyway, this has to be my favorite battle damage ship that so far that they've released so far, because it's just so detailed. Look at it. I mean, you can see here that in the movie they had, for some of the scorch marks and whatnot, they actually were trying to repair it, and they put paneling here, and well, even on the paint app, there's a little bit of paneling on the ship. Well, not so much on this side. But I love it just doesn't look, it's not just a bunch of black, miscellaneous black dots on the ship with a little bit of red in the middle of it. No, it really looks like it's been scorched and whatnot, and I really love it. Particularly this here. Now granted, I would have preferred a ship without the self-destruct damage. I mean, that's just me personally, but I mean, just look at it. It's so detailed. Like, it looks like the ship is on fire, and I do like this. I would have preferred to have a version without it, but I mean, I'm still okay with this. But wow, this is just fantastic. Oh, focus. Oh. Anyway, as you can see, right here on this side, you can see the battle damage that it had suffered from the Wrath of Khan, the engineering section, although it wasn't that big in the movie, and the torpedo launcher, and of course the torpedo head. And I guess that one can be considered too. Now, the one thing I've always been curious about is that in Star Trek III, the ship somehow had more battle damage on it than it got in the Wrath of Khan, particularly on this side, and I'm curious as to how that happened and what was the creative process behind that. I know that there's a non-canon story out there that explains it, and it involved a battle with the Klingons, but I mean, I really want to know what the in-universe explanation for that is, and I haven't been able to figure that out and find one. I'm just going to keep showing you more of the details. Here's the saucer section. The one thing I don't like, and particularly of the ship of this type of ship released in that era, this was released back in 2003 or 4, I believe. I know the A was released in 2003, but I think this was released a year later. So, but anyway, the one thing they didn't do was they didn't paint. You can't really see that. Oh, there we go. They didn't really paint in the windows or the sensor lines on the saucer section, and that's the one thing I don't like about the older ones, is that they didn't paint in certain things. I mean, otherwise, it looks fantastic. Don't get me wrong, I love the paint app, not just of the battle damage, but the whole ship in general. And it just looks great. I can't describe how much I really love the look of this ship. Anyway, there were only 3,000 of these made, and I'm fortunate to have at least one. I know there are some YouTubers out there who have more than one, which I'm jealous of, and I think that's crazy, but hooray for them. Anyway, I'm just gonna go to the lights and sounds, and then I'll do a comparison of the A that I have over here. So here we go. That was weird. I'm gonna just play all the sound effects. So if you hold down the bridge, it'll cycle through all the sound effects. Also, the bridge, for some odd reason, is a little... I don't know, if I just pressed lightly on it, the sound effects will... Like, I barely pressed it, and the lights and sounds went off, but I'm gonna cycle through all of it. There are the nice sounds, impulse engines, and the observation lounge. Here, I'm gonna play a few more just because I feel like I didn't give a good enough view of it. Now, granted, these are very bright, and these aren't LEDs. I know they show up as really bright on camera, and compared to the ships with the LEDs in them, they aren't that bright in person. But I have to say, I'm surprised at how well this ship particularly still lights up. At how the rice bulbs in the ship still work, and how they still hold up. Like, I have a ship, the Wrath of Khan refit from the 25th anniversary, where one of the LEDs burn out. I don't know why, and I probably will do a review of that ship at a later date. But anyway, I really like the lights and sounds on this ship. Although, granted, I wish there were voice clips from it, and they didn't start implementing that until the Enterprise E. Oh, also, this is the stand of the ship. I have said repeatedly, I do not like these stands for the Constitution-class starships and for the refits, because they're so flimsy and they can easily break. I haven't displayed this yet, because mine did come with a box, and I keep it in the box. I only took it out for the purposes of this review. But the problem with this is that this just sits in a ball joint, and it moves around, and this part here grips onto the ball joint, and it holds it tight. And sometimes if you position it in a wrong way, the ship will start to tilt, and then it'll fall, and this part will snap off, and that's a common complaint among many owners of a refit Enterprise from Diamond Select and Art Asylum. And I wish that they would add some sort of support, like either coming out from here and going up to there, but, I mean, there's nothing I can really do about it. Anyway, ooh, that gave me a heart attack. Anyway, here's the Starfleet Delta insignia. That is pretty common with all of the original series ships, including the ones from the films. Here's some more details. One thing I do like about this is that, I don't know if you can see that, but this torpedo launcher here is painted red. I know on the A that I have, it's not red whatsoever, painted red at all. So I'm going to briefly show you a little bit of a comparison between the two, between this and the A. This is the A that was released back in 2003, not the reissue. The paint app is very identical. Actually, I would say there are aside from the battle damage, they're pretty much the exact same ship, except obviously there's an A slapped onto it. And the Arboretum windows right there, you can see on the A that it's blue, and on here it's black. Otherwise, there really is no different. I mean, in terms of the paint app, it's virtually the same. I know that's not a very good comparison, and I may do a separate video comparing all of the refits that I own. I only own 4, and I mean, I guess that's probably a lot for some people, but I mean, this is my favorite class of starship, like, ever. I love the look of the refit. Anyway, some complaints I have about this. Obviously the stand, the some of the details not being painted in, but I can't really blame Diamond Select and Art Asylum for that. That's just how it was back with the starships back in that time period. I mean, even the NX-01 had flaws too, which I will do a review of. Otherwise, I'll just show you some of the battle damage one more time. Here's some of it on the Bussard collector right there. Oh, one thing I should mention is that on mine, one of my nacelles is bent a little, and it's a little wonky. You can't really see it that well, unless it's kind of hard to tell. But at an angle, you can see it. It's yeah, it's this nacelle right here that's a little wonky, but otherwise, I think this ship is just perfect, and it's my favorite ship out of my Starship collection, so yeah, here's the registry, and then it says, Enterprise. Just give you a closer look. Yeah, I have to say, I really like this ship. If you can find one for a really good price, then I'd say go for it. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and yeah, have a good day.